If your mind feels scattered and you're finding it hard to drop back into yourself, today's sequence is here to support you. We're taking ourselves out of our heads and into our bodies, and this is a really slow moving, chilled out and relaxing sequence. We'll start lying down and then we'll bring the energy up before we do a nice big relaxation at the end. Make sure you're wearing something comfortable before we get started. Lie down on the mat, knock your knees together and have your feet out as wide as the mat. If you'd like a little bit of extra comfort, place a cushion underneath your head. Take one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, and take a big inhale right the way to the top of your chest. And a big sigh out. And another one, big inhale in. And this time a soft sigh out. And we'll just take 5 to 7 rounds of breath. We're going to change the technique slightly. You take both hands to your belly this time and breathe into your hands. So you're making the belly into a balloon shape as you breathe right the way down to the pit of the belly, expanding the belly onto the hands. And as you flow through these breaths in your own time, can you just give yourself a quick scan and see if there's any place in the physical body, or maybe even the mental or emotional body, that you are gripping onto? Can you use your breath to gently soften? For me, that means giving my jaw a little wiggle. It means softening the clench of my eyes. Two more rounds of breath. Heel ball toe the feet to hip distance apart, and then we're going to bring in some pelvic tilt movements. So you want to draw your belly button down towards the spine, tilt the pelvis so that you close the gap between your lower back and the mat. And then on your inhale breath, you'll make the movement in the opposite direction. So now there is a big arc through the lower back, and there's a big gap between your lower back and the mat. Again, tilting the pelvis, drawing the navel in towards the spine, closing the gap between your lower back and the mat. And then on the inhale breath, big arc through the lower back. Again, drawing navel to spine, tilting the pelvis down. And inhale to make a big arc. So flowing between these two movements in your own time. See if you can match your breath and your movement. So as you inhale, you find a big gap, a big arc through the lower back. And then as you exhale, you're tucking the pelvis down, drawing the lower back, navel to spine, and drawing the lower back down to the mat. Take 3 more in your own time. And bringing yourself back to the center. This time, press down through your heels, lift the torso up towards the ceiling, and then lowering it back down. As you lower it back down, can you slowly roll through the lower back and then gently release before arcing through the lower back again. Drawing navel to spine and slowly rolling up as you press down through the heels. and then lowering back down the same way you came up, and finding a little arc through the spine. And again, drawing the lower belly in, lifting up, pressing through the heels. And as you exhale, lowering back down, and just taking this movement in your own time. See if you can match the breath and movement together. One more variation. This time as you inhale, you'll raise the arms up over the head. And as you exhale, lowering the arms back down. Send the hips back down to the mat. And again, inhaling, lifting the torso up. And exhale, lowering down. Take these in your own time. This movement is really good to slow the breath down. And gently release. Give your hips a little shake from side to side. Give your knees a wee window screen wipe from side to side. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Take the knees over to one side and press yourself up to find a seat. So that exercise is really good for matching breath and movement together, and being conscious of each little movement brings us out of our head and into our bodies. Coming into a comfortable seat, I suggest taking a cushion underneath your sit bones for a little bit of extra space. Bring the chin in towards the chest and take the head over towards one side. Again, matching your breath and your movement together. As you breathe, can you slowly roll out through the neck, taking the head from side to side. The invitation is to close the eyes or soften your gaze. And wherever you're at, can you go a little bit slower? There is nowhere you need to be right now. We spend our whole life rushing around, going from task to task, responsibility to responsibility. Can you take a few moments to slow down your movement? See how slow you can go. Option to take the head all the way round into a full circle this time. Make sure you go very slowly. And last one in the opposite direction. Check in with the breath, make sure the breath is still flowing. And release. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, roll them back behind you. You might feel a little crunch. And interlacing the hands as you inhale, open the chest. And as you exhale, can you hinge your way forwards? You might take opposite hands to opposite elbows behind you. And gently bring yourself back to center. Coming onto the hands and knees, flowing through cat-cow movement. So we basically did a cat-cow movement on the floor before. Now we're doing it on the hands and knees. So as you inhale, you open the chest forward, sit bones go up towards the ceiling, find that arc through the spine. And then drawing the lower belly in and upwards as you make a dome shape through the spine, let your head hang heavy. match the breath and the movement together. And the invitation is to bring some intuitive movements into it this time. Perhaps the shoulders come forward of the wrists, maybe the sit bones sink down towards the heels. You might come into a child's pose for a moment before bringing your weight back up. The invitation is to close the eyes and imagine you're breathing space into all the little corners and walls of your body that feel tight and tense. All the little corners and walls of the spine. Last 2 rounds of breath. And release. Tuck the toes under, extend the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Downward dog. Paddle the feet out from side to side. Bend the knees as much as you need to give yourself a bit more space here. Give the head a little shake out. Three more rounds of breath. You might wish to walk your hands in slightly or take your feet back. And walking the feet up towards the hands, coming into a forward fold position. Taking opposite hands to opposite elbows. Let the weight be heavy. Release your hands, bend into your knees as much as you need to sweep the fingertips from side to side. From here, bend into the knees, come onto the balls of your feet. We're in a squat variation, lift up through your chest. And just seeing if you can balance here. The key to a really good balance is to really let your breath drop in. So make sure that you are breathing, and it's okay if you feel yourself wobbling about. I suggest picking a point in front of you, lowering your gaze to that point, and again, making sure there is a nice, steady, free flow of breath. Can you lift up a little bit higher through the chest? Take your hands down to the mat. Extend your legs back. Come into a downward dog again. Give the hips a little shake out. This time lifting up through the right leg, bending into the right knee. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Step your foot between the hands. Lower the back knee down. Bringing the hands onto the thigh. Now, if your knee is feeling a little bit tender, I suggest placing a cushion or a blanket just under that back knee. Steady breath. Option to stay here or reach the arms back up over the head, cactus them out behind you, opening the chest. And release. Take the hands down to the mat. Step back, downward dog. Give your hips a little shake out. And following through to the opposite side, left leg lifts, bend into the left knee. Draw the knee in towards the chest, step it between the hands, lower knee draws down. Again, if you need to, get a cushion, pop it under that knee or a blanket. Hands to thigh. Pausing here, letting your breath land. And then option to raise the arms up over the head. Cactus the arms back behind you, opening the chest. Hands come down to the mat, step back, downward dog, give the hips a shake. Take a big inhale into the nose and sigh out through the mouth, inviting a sound. Bring the knees down to the mat, send the sit bones back to the heels. Child's pose. Roll the forehead from side to side. All the little micro movements we've been taking in today's sequence, which the sequence itself was very, very simple, but moving slowly allows you to go right into your body. And when you are focused on what's happening in the body and the sensations in the body, you allow yourself to come out of your thinking mind. And slowly peeling yourself back up and making your way onto the mat for our final relaxation. I always like to have my hands on my belly, or one hand to belly and one hand to heart for a little bit of extra support. Make yourself comfortable with cushions or whatever it is you need. And I'll spend just a couple of minutes here to get you settled in, but if you have the space, I suggest taking at least 5, maybe even 10 minutes to fully relax. And as you make your way into our final relaxation, just noticing any edges of the body that still feel a little bit tight or sticky or tense. Can you use your breath to soften and surrender? Take as much time as you need here. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. If you haven't already completed my 5 days of calm, you can get that on the link below. It is free and it is a wonderful 5-day practice. Have an awesome day or evening ahead.